This is my favorite Victorinox. As you can tell, it's an Alox, so instead of the standard one, it doesn't have scale tools or any tools on the back. And while I initially thought that that was just missing out on your extra tools, I found that the back tools I don't actually use that much, so the corkscrew, the reamer actually, you do have an inline reamer, which I much prefer, and in terms of the scale tools, you can actually put them underneath these tools so that you have them stored as well. So you're not really missing out nearly as much as you might initially think. Since there aren't any back tools creating hot spots and everything is made out of metal, it also just feels really good in the hand, which is not necessarily something that you might appreciate until you try an Alox for yourself. In addition to that, I find that the Alox series allows you to fit in an extra layer and still feel quite comfortable in the hand. So while the regular series, I find 3 layers is kind of the maximum that feels good in my hand. With the Alox, you can get 4 because the scales are much thinner. You still get a good grip. And so since I find that 4 layers is kind of my sweet spot, the Alox is really the way to go. So looking at the tools, we have the opener layer with the can opener and bottle opener. I know that there is the combo tool, but in my experience, it's just not really as good as a bottle opener, which I use quite often. And while it does work as a can opener, that doesn't get used so often. In addition, this has both a good sort of small Phillips and a good flathead driver, and the combo tool really doesn't work very well as a driver in those cases. So. Next we have the scissors. I think, as everyone knows, Victorinox scissors, really useful, just probably the best multi-tool scissors that you can get. So that one's an obvious. Then we have the main blade, since this is a Swiss Army knife, kind of self-explanatory. And actually, then we have the reamer that I mentioned previously. I thought that, again, this wouldn't be such an upgrade over the back tool that you have in the regular Victorinox, but I find this reamer is much more useful. It's great for opening packages and also just poking holes. It's quite easy to use, so I really like this reamer. It was a kind of surprise to me, but definitely really like that now. And finally, the part that makes this a little bit custom, in place of the wood saw, I've put a metal file. So from the regular 91mm, custom added this in. And the reason for that is I find the metal file much more useful in my general tasks. I mean, if you need it for nails, for example, you can do that. If you're doing some work with plastic, just need to get rid of an edge, metal, little pin sticking out, you can knock that down. And again, if you really needed to, it does have this sawing edge, so you can also use it for wood in the case that you need to. Again, you're probably not going to be chopping down trees or anything with it, but in the case that you really just need something, this will do and will work as a wood saw as well. So I think it's more useful than the wood saw itself. So those are the main tools that I have in my 4-layer Victorinox. So in addition to the regular tools, we also have the Lanyard tools, which includes the flathead bit driver, smaller flathead, large 2D Phillips, and small 2D Phillips. And then we also have the 2mm, 2.5, 3, and 4mm. And these together come in surprisingly useful, and also because of the way they're attached with this fishing swivel and sort of quick release, you can call it, attachment. You can either use them directly without the knife getting in the way, or you can detach it and then use it more freely. So together, these create my perfect Swiss Army knife. Let me know what you think.